Did you know that 70% of consumers will buy Christmas ornaments for the holiday season? And that is a bigger percentage of sales coming from ornaments than any other type of holiday decoration. I'm guessing this might be because it's not just a holiday decoration, but it's also a very giftable item. And that is good news for those of us that have print-on-demand shops with Etsy. In today's video, I'm going to show you a couple of examples of ornaments that were listed within the last 12 months that have done really well. This is how we know that it would be worth our time and energy to list them in our own shops. Then I'm going to drag you on over to Erank with me, where I'll show you how I came up with the list of ornaments I'm going to share with you today. That way you could dig deeper within each of these niches if you want to. But I did already do the legwork, and I do have 13 highly searched, lower competition ornament niches that would be perfect to list in if you're watching this video when it comes out. I'm filming this in September, so it is the perfect time to list ornaments in your shop right now. You can keep listing them right up until Black Friday weekend. That's when I'm going to stop listing my Christmas items in my shop also. And this is the first video in a series of 2 videos. In this video, we'll do our research and we'll find some vetted out places to design and list in. And in the second video of this series, I'm going to pick a couple of those places to show you how I would add value to the market with my designs. And that is the secret. That's always the secret to selling your products. Any print-on-demand product you have in your shop, the secret is adding value to the market. And I'm going to show you how I do that by simply doing research. And I'll show you how I implement that research in that second video. If you don't want to miss that second video, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if I haven't proven to you yet that it'll be worth it, I'll loop back and remind you in a little bit after I provide you with a little more value. First of all, let's make sure that ornaments are actually worth it. When we head over to Etsy, first up, let's take a look at this ornament here, Our First Christmas as a Family of 3. I am filming this in September. This was listed no more than 12 months ago. All of my examples I pulled today were listed no more than 12 months ago. It is in demand right now in September. It has 29 people bought this in the last 24 hours. We can see that they have sold a total of 5,881 of these in the last 12 months. When I checked out their pricing, I saw that they were selling their ornaments at $8.99 and they had a shipping charge of $4.99, bringing their total to $13.98. If they're fulfilling this with Printify, after their Printify charge for fulfillment and their Etsy charges, they would have been making right about $2.25 per ornament, bringing them to a total of $11,762 profit for this one ornament in the last 12 months. This heart-shaped ornament, again in the month of September, is already in 20 carts. This was listed 12 months ago. They've sold it a total of 3,568 times. They are selling it for $9.99, and their shipping charge is $4.99. That brings their total cost to their customer to $14.98. Total profit would be right around $3.15 after their Etsy fees and after their fulfillment costs. So at 3,568 sales, at about $3 of profit per sale, they would be right around $10,704 profit in the last 12 months for this one listing. My last example for you, this is a new home ornament. It's already in 10 carts here in the month of September. It was listed 12 months ago. It has sold 7,646 times. They have it listed at $12.99 with a shipping fee of $4.99, bringing their total cost for their customer at checkout to $17.98. That makes their profit after the Etsy fees and after fulfillment costs to right around $5.80. If they've sold 7,646 of those at $5.80 profit each, they're at right around $44,346 profit for this one ornament in the last 12 months. So that last one there, literally before I filmed this, I did the math on it 3 times because I kind of couldn't believe that in the last 12 months they made $44,346 off that one listing. Like, that's so much. And I just filmed this part and then I went, oh my gosh, let me go check those numbers again. So I just did the math again to make sure that I didn't miss something there. Their profit would be right around $5.80. They were the most expensive one that we looked at with their base price of $12.99. The others were $8.99 and $9.99. They all had shipping at $4.99. So out the door, theirs was $17.98. And they were making $5.80 profit. And that's how much they made profit for all of those orders that passed through it. We're going to head over to Erank, and I am going to share with you those niches that I identified, and I'm going to show you how I found them. If you want to dig deeper, you know how I came up with that research, and you certainly can. Or if you just want to go with the research I already did for you, you could do that too. I will share with you before we jump into it and before you get further into this video that if you're a new Etsy shop owner and you are all over the place with different products, that can be very difficult. And that can leave you spinning your wheels and maybe giving up before you get your Etsy shop really going. So if you're already in it to win it with another POD product, like let's say t-shirts, that's what I started with and that's what I have stuck with because I didn't have the bandwidth to also learn how to do another product, to learn how to do the SEO, to learn how to do the mock-ups, to learn how to do the designs for that new product, to make all of the photo cards, the supporting photo cards I would need for that new product. It is a mission. So if you are in the place where you're like, oh, should I add another product or should I keep going with the product I'm already getting traction with? Keep going with the product that you're already getting traction with would be personally what I would do. But if you have the bandwidth and you are ready to add another product, I will also share this with you. I have had the privilege of speaking with a number of amazing Etsy sellers that are toward the beginning or middle maybe of their journeys. And I'm getting to learn so much from them because of their experiences. I've talked to a couple of people that last year they were pretty new at Etsy and they went with ornaments the last couple of months of the year and they got some traction. So if you choose not to do ornaments because you're already busy with a product, then I commend you for that. Keep going and get really good with the products that you've already chosen. If for any reason you choose not to get into ornaments because you're thinking that, oh, well, there's videos about ornaments, so too many people are doing ornaments or it's too saturated, then you have a self-limiting belief. Unfortunately, that's really going to keep you back in your Etsy journey. If the product has demand, you can make sales there. If the niche has demand, you can make sales there. Don't let yourself feel pushed down because you're in Reddit groups or Facebook groups or whatever groups where people are saying it's too saturated. You can't make money here. Yes. Oh, yes, you can. But you're going to have to believe that in order to put the type of effort forth that needs to be put forth for you to go through the learning curve and be able to make designs that people want to buy on whatever product you are creating on. Okay, let's jump onto Erank, and I'll show you how I did this research, and I'm going to share those niches with you, those ornament niches. I am going to leave linked down below a link to Erank in case you want to dig deeper for yourself and do additional research. I am using the paid version of Erank. I'll also leave down in the description for you a link to my calendar. It's a calendar resource I made for Q4. In all honesty, I grew my Etsy shop without any paid tools. It was after I started making enough sales for me to cover the cost that I added Everbee, a different app, not the one we're using today, into my arsenal of tools. And I love Everbee. It wasn't until I became a YouTuber that I decided to get Erank because I wanted to be able to research in additional ways as I started to create resources for other people. I wanted to make sure that I was creating something that would be valuable to anyone that ever trusted me enough to purchase something from me. So that is when I got into Erank, and I absolutely love Erank also. But if you're feeling overwhelmed by tools, you don't need it. A lot of people on YouTube are sharing this research with you, and maybe that's all you need right now. Maybe that's the step you're at. And you could build a very lucrative, successful Etsy shop without going that extra mile with all of these tools. But if you are looking for it, I will leave a link down below, and I will also leave a link to my Q4 calendar resource, which Erank was heavily involved in vetting out the niches and the suggestions that I placed on that resource. Okay, let's jump into it. Here we are on Erank, and I'm using their keyword tool. So I'm going to put ornament. I like to start with something really broad like this. And since we're just kind of getting our feet wet, let's see what niches start popping up with the word ornament. And I'll show you exactly how I look for that. Right now, it's just taking a moment to get our data for us. Here at the top, we see average searches. I like to pay attention to this bar. And down at the bottom, we see Etsy competition. I also like to pay attention to this bar. The average searches are the average monthly searches on Etsy based on the past 12 months of Etsy data. So ornaments are on average over the last year, over the last 12 months, searched 46,269 times a month on average. So of course, if we can look at the graph over here and we see that it's not all months are even. There's actually much higher search volume from August through December and much lower search volumes throughout the rest of the year. Etsy competition is 1,536,000 down, which is down here. Now, this is where I like to spend a lot of time when I'm on Erank. I go down into this area here. It's keyword ideas, and these are related searches. This is where I love Erank and the information that it gives me. I don't know what kind of ornament I want to create, but this is going to give me so much data and so many good ideas. So these are all related searches. These are keyword ideas, and Erank is pulling all of these searches because they are somehow related to ornaments when people are searching in some capacity for ornaments. So I like to scan this column, average searches, and Etsy competition. These are correlating to what we saw here with these bars. I kind of don't spend a whole lot of attention on average clicks or the average click-through rate. For this process, I'm really focusing on this. I want this to be green. Dark green is the best. Light green, I'll still take it. Etsy competition, it's red. So there's lots of sellers that are having listings in their shops with this keyword, with whatever keyword is over here, over to the left-hand side. So I'd love to see a color other than red over here. That's going to get my attention. I'll take yellow, and if I see a shade of green, I'll be super excited. So as we look down, I like what I'm seeing here with engagement ornament. So this is going to be the first niche on our ornament niche list. Next, we have photo ornaments with green search volumes, and we've got yellow competition. So photo ornament is going to be the second niche on our ornament list. Third up, we've got cardinal ornament, and that's got green average searches and green Etsy competition. Now, if you do have my Q4 calendar resource, you might want to grab your pencil, go to the section that I worked out for ornaments. I believe it's page 37, and there might be a couple that we cover today that you want to pencil in onto your resource. Book ornament is up next. Ornament niche, and it's got green average searches as well as green Etsy competition. Snowflake ornament is going to be our fifth, and it's got green average searches and yellow Etsy competition. I wouldn't necessarily just make a snowflake ornament. I would mix it with another niche. So perhaps I would have personalization on it, and I'll go a little further into that in the next video in this series and how I'm going to add value to my ornaments. But again, I wouldn't just make a big snowflake on this ornament. I would use this knowledge and mix it with something else on this list to help create something people really want to buy. Sixth, we've got nativity ornament. We've got light green in both Etsy competition and search volume. Our seventh ornament niche is the soccer ornament. And this is light green in average searches and dark green in Etsy competition. Eighth ornament niche is going to be a teacher ornament. These are going to sell really well at Christmas, but then they're going to sell well again at other gift giving times during the school year, depending on what type of design you put on that ornament. It is green for our Etsy searches, and it is yellow for our Etsy competition. We're not going to put customized ornament as one of the official niches that we're going over today. You can see here it's green for average searches and red for Etsy competition. But customized ornament is another great one to mix with anything else we're talking about. That teacher ornament, put that teacher's name on it, and that ornament becomes so much more valuable. The ninth ornament niche that we're going to cover is volleyball ornament. And I remember mentioning this one time in another video where I quickly went into ornaments, and someone went down into the comments and said, "Oh my gosh, Shawna, I just sold a volleyball ornament." So that person knows that they're in a good niche there. We've got average searches for volleyball ornaments in the green, light green, and then dark green for Etsy competition. So not a lot of competition here just yet. I actually missed bird ornament when I was putting my list together with its green average searches and yellow competition. So that's just a bonus for you. 10th on my list was music ornament. It's got green average searches and green Etsy competition. 11th is nurse ornament. It's got average searches being green and Etsy competition being green. These are also niches, the teacher niche, the music niche, the nurse niche, that you can build upon and double down on throughout the year with different products. If you start to gain traction with your nurse ornament, for example, then you start to gain traction with the types of phrases that you include in that SEO. If it's a NICU nurse ornament, well, then you are more likely now to be able to break in with another product. So maybe in January, you start creating NICU nurse shirts to help you double down on nurse niche that you started to get traction on with your ornaments. 12th up on our ornament niche list is going to be ultrasound ornament. And this is mostly, I looked a little into each of these. The ultrasound one is really just where you're placing a picture of their ultrasound on the ornament for them. Super special. It's green in average searches, and it's got very little Etsy competition at the moment. And last but not least is the horse ornament niche. We've got light green in Etsy average searches from our customers, potential customers, and we've got light green in Etsy competition. If you are eyeballing this down here, Swift ornament, I suggest staying away from that. You don't want to do anything with Taylor Swift on it, as that would be trademarked. And just to be clear, just because there is a red bar for competition does not mean I would shy away from that product or from that niche. Here we had red for ornaments in competition and dark green for Etsy searches, for the volume of Etsy searches. But that doesn't mean we're shying away from ornaments. We went down and we started looking for where are some spots where there's a little less competition, but yet still there's searches. I'm big into the teacher niche, and that's certainly red for competition and green for searches. But then when you go do the same activity like we just did with ornament, you'll find that just like we did here, we niched down as we picked actual niches to put on the ornament. Same thing for teachers. You could find little pockets of places that have more space, like third grade teacher. And I'll just show you real quick how this is helpful. If you wanted to dig deeper, you could continue your research by, let's say, exploring one of these areas that is green in average searches, but is also red in Etsy competition. So let's take pet ornament here. I'm going to click on pet ornament, or I can go up and do a new search for pet ornament. If I click on pet ornament, it will search it for me and it'll give me the results for pet ornament. We already knew it was green for searches and we already knew it was red for Etsy competition. But now we're going to get all of these related keyword ideas here. And now we have this new set of data to kind of search through and see if we see anything interesting. For pet memorial ornament, we've got green average searches and yellow Etsy competition. So there's more space in the market here to make it easier for us to stand out with our designs. This is not somewhere I could personally really design in. It would make me too sad. So I'd have to skip that one. But also custom pet ornament is one here. We've got green searches and yellow competition. So this is how you could go into any niche that has green searches and red search volume to get additional ideas of how you can hit the market to really stand out. Now that we have some great niches that we can list in, we need to make designs that add value to the market. I'll show you how to do that in the next video. If you don't want to miss it, make sure you take a second to go down and hug the subscribe button. And if you did find value in this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you took a second to boop the like button and let me know. If you want to go ahead and get started with adding value to the market, then you could click on this video here while you're waiting for that ornament video to come out. But of course, not until after that tip from Tucker. Tucker, take it away.